Berry Gordy, founder of Motown Records, producer of many music-changing artists, and last but not least, son of Berry Gordy Sr., well, with the help of Bertha Fuller Gordy, too. At the time of high school, Gordy was in the process of pursuing his dream of becoming a boxer. He was then drafted into the Army. He left those dreams far behind. Soon after, when he got back from serving in the Army, he opened a 3D record company with the money he earned. Disappointingly, the store failed when he bought records he liked instead of what the customers wanted.
For a short time, he worked for the Ford assembly line as a chrome trimmer. There he wrote songs that were recorded by local singers. Dr. Records bought some of his songs, but Barry soon realized that writing songs wasn't enough. He wanted to own them. After a suggestion from friend William Smokey Robinson, Gordy borrowed $700 from his father and formed his own record company. Motown Records was located in a row house on Detroit's Grand Boulevard. He slept on the second floor and recorded on the first. In 1960, Motown released the song Shop Around by Smokey Robinson, which sold more than 1 million copies. In the history of popular music, Berry Gordy was the most successful producer. Motown music was a mix of classic African-American gospel with the rock and roll sound like Elvis Presley and the Beatles.
Motown produced more than 110 hit songs and many top 10 records. Some of them include Please Mr. Postman, Reach Out, I'll Be There, My Girl, Stop in the Name of Love, For Once in My Life, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, Heard It Through the Grapevine, My Guy, Dancing in the Streets, Your Precious Love, Where Did Our Love Go, Baby Love, I Hear a Symphony, I Want You Back, and I'll Be There. Gordy also brought local talent into the spotlight. Some of the artists that he recorded were Diana Ross and the Supremes, the Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Four Tops, the Temptations, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye, the Marvelettes, Mary Wells and Martha Reeves, and the Vandellas. In the mid-1970s, some of the artists had started to resist Gordy's control. The first group to leave was Gladys Knight and the Pips. In 1975, the Jackson 5 made it public that they would be moving to Epic Records where their Motown contract expired. To Gordy, it seemed as though Motown was falling apart at the seams. He managed to keep Stevie Wonder by promising him $13 million over 7 years in the Wonder deal of 1975. Gordy was still ashamed that his artists were valuing money over the Motown family.
In 1972, he moved Motown headquarters to LA to begin a career in film to turn Diana Ross into a superstar. His first movie was released by Paramount in 1972 called Lady Sings the Blues. The movie was nominated for 5 Oscars and made more than $8.5 million. In 1975, Berry released the film Mahogany, which, despite its success at the box office, was not nearly as successful as Lady Sings the Blues. In 1981, Diana Ross announced the fact that she would be moving to RCA Records. This action surprised Gordy, but the surprise came with disappointment. After Ross left, things went downhill for Gordy. In June 1988, he sold Motown to MCA Incorporated. He kept control of Jovette, the publishing operation, and the film business, but sold the record label for $61 million. He told the newspapers that he wanted to ensure the perpetuation of Motown and its heritage. Esther Edwards, Berry's sister, also wanted to keep Motown alive. The little house in downtown Detroit named Hitsville, USA, is now the site of the Motown Museum as a result of Esther's desire to save everything. She had boxes and boxes full of Motown history. Even Michael Jackson donated the memorabilia from his Bad tour, which added up to a value of $125,000.
Berry Gordy married Thelma Coleman in 1953. They later divorced. They had 2 sons, Barry IV and Terry. They also had 1 daughter, Hazel, who married Jermaine Jackson in 1973. In 1960, Berry married Ramona Lyles and later divorced in 1964. They together had 1 son named Carrie. Gordy also had a son with Margaret Norton in 1964, who they named Kennedy after John F. Kennedy. Kennedy later changed his name to Rockwell and recorded for Motown Records in 1984. Gordy lived in the Bel Air section of Los Angeles. He valued his privacy a lot, and he rarely dealt with the press. He is one of the richest African Americans in the world. In 1994, the Motown artists made a tribute album to Gordy. Gordy produced music known all over the world. People from all countries would listen to his music. Gordy changed the music history. In the end, Berry Gordy remains a lover of music and a famous icon all around the world.